Hey Carol, this is for you. You wanted to see how I did this card. Now this is the finished card. I just put a little sneak peek, and I'm going to apologize for my voice. I have a little bit of the crud going on, so I'm not my usual perky self. But so anyways, I'm going to show how I did this card, and I'll flip the camera. And I'll show you what we did at the watercolor class as well. So that's why I've popped in just kind of the spur of the moment, because Carol asked if I would show how I did that card. So I guess I should probably do these more often. I do them with my downline once a month. So this is how those usually go. So now you can see what my poor team have to put up with for me. But anyway, so I will flip the camera and I will show you how easy it is to do that card. All right, so here we go. Let me flip the camera. Flipping it so you can see my area. Okay, so, all right. So what I did ahead of time is I used the shimmery white paper. I love to color on it. It allows you to play with your color a little bit more than the Whisper White, definitely. Not as much as the watercolor paper, but I love how the color glides on the shimmery white. So I'll try to say hi, but I'm also going to try to watch the watch what I'm doing too. So if you ask me something and I'm not ignoring you. Okay, so what I did again. So I stamped with the Whisper White Craft, and I used this beautiful flower here, the birthday blossoms. Blooms, and I embossed it with the white embossing powder, and then I heated it up with the handy dandy little heat tool. And then I'm just going to start to color. So most of you, if you've watched my YouTube channels, I always have like a makeup sponge, or it's what I use to take my nail polish off. And that's just what I use to keep control of my blender pens, my aqua painter, just to keep, so I can clean it on here, make sure there's no color on it. So I just always have those on hand. I usually hand them out at class if we're going to be doing some watercoloring. So the colors that I'm going to be using are the Sweet Sugar Plum. Hey, Sandy, and my sister Jackie, and my BFF. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like I said, I'm trying to look with my phone in the way. So now I'm going to just start to color the flower, and I'm just picking up my ink, and then I'm just quickly, I'm not even trying to be like really careful. I'm just going right over the white embossing powder, and it will resist your ink. And then I'm doing the flower. So see how quick it is? It is like so quick. Now, you don't want to get your arm in it. You don't want to touch that while it's wet, or you'd have a mess. So, and then I did a whole bunch of these for thank you cards. So I had a whole bunch on my table. So what I do is I do one color at a time. So I did all of the sugar plum colors, and then I set them aside. And I keep going. So by the time I get to the next color, it is totally dry. Hi, Carol, just for you, darling. All right. So now I have my first coating of the Sweet Sugar Plum. And then I'm just going to go, and I want to have a little bit of a darker. So you just want to make sure it's dry. So like I said, if you're doing a whole bunch of them, the next time you go to touch it is definitely going to be dry. This one may still be wet in areas because I'm just coloring one at a time. But see how now I'm just going to add a little bit of dark just in certain areas. And it's just beautiful. And it's just, it makes you look like an artist. And I just love this technique. So, and I'm sure it's called something fancier than coloring on white embossed flower, but that's what I said with it. All right. So then I'm just going to add a little more, and I'm going to leave it alone because less is more. It is. It's like magic. All right. So now I'm going to clean. So see, I just squeezed my aqua painter, and I'm just rubbing it onto that little makeup sponge. And now I'm going to use Tangerine Tango, and that's going to be the center of my flower. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. And I'm just going to pick up, get that out of there. And I'm just going to pick up some of my tangerine. I just banged the tripod thing, so I apologize for that. And I'm just going to add some of the tangerine. Now this I want to add some more darker, so I will need to let that dry a little bit in between. So let's see, do I have any? Oh, Grand Bend, that's my cousin, right? Cousin Sharon from Grand Bend. Let's see, this is kind of fun. I guess I'll have to do this more often. I did for a while, and then I got kind of where I was just doing the YouTube. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in just in these areas with a little bit of more of it, just so it's a little darker. And if you didn't want to wait for it to dry, you could choose another darker color, like red would be very beautiful in there as well. Then I'm going to close that up, and then we're going to do the Old Olive. Amir, my friend from school, how are you doing, my friend? You need to come out to Arizona and see us. All right, so now I'm going to add my Old Olive, and it's the same thing. I'm just quickly coloring in the areas. And if you go outside of the white embossing, it's okay. Don't be mad at yourself. It's only paper, right? So, and then I'm just filling in all these little areas. And what happens is also that a white embossing, that kind of makes it the paper, or not the paper, but the, it will stay within the ridges because it's like taller. So that kind of helps too. And then if you aren't sure what something is, like this, I'm like, I think that's a leaf. I always have the stamp handy, so I know like if that's a leaf or not. And then the little stem. And again, if you want to have a little bit darker, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little bit of darker against the flower. Hey, Betty. See, the writing is going up, so I can't see everybody. So I'm going to have fun when this is all over with, that I can sit and I can read what you said, and then I can help if anyone needs help. All right, so then that isn't that beautiful? It is so beautiful, so easy, and that is just with the aqua painter. And now when I do a whole bunch, when I always say aqua painter and ink refill, what I mean is, like, if I'm doing a whole bunch, I will put ink refill drops in here instead of squeezing the pad over and over and over. But just for the one card, I just squeeze the pad. So whenever I say ink refill in the lid, it just means you don't have to keep squeezing the pad. But isn't that beautiful? I love it. And then what I did was, then I just stamped the happiest of birthdays to you. So, but that's what I did with that one. And then I did a couple different ones. So I used a different stamp set, but it's basically the same technique. Now we did the watercolor pencil crayons at class. Hey, Rhonda. This is actually using the watercolor pencils. So you do the same technique, but what you do is you want to color. So like if I'm going to use the watercolor pencils, you're going to color just like along the edge. And I usually try not to rub too much on the embossing. So this is using the pencils. So it gives you a little bit different look. And then what we did at class was we used a blender pen because that's what the girls got. When they came to class, they got their own blender pen and their pencils. And then you're going to do the same thing. So you're just going to, in circles, rub, 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 and see how it blends that color out. But you're doing the same thing. So it's basically the same technique. And if you have any, like sometimes the ink will sit on top of the embossing. So then I would take a clean one, but this is what I have. And then just if you tap, it will grab any extra ink that might be sitting on top of the embossing powder, because you hate to brush across and smear it. So, but that is just a very cool technique. So watercolor pencils, aqua painter, and ink refill. So it's fun. It is very fun. So, okay, zoom in a bit so we can see the details. Okay, I'm not going to zoom. I'm just going to bring it up. I hope that works. I'm just going to bring it closer to the camera. I hope that works. So, can you see it a little better? But this is the one I actually did while we were doing the live. So, but I hope that helps, Veronica. So, and then I will, I'll post these on my blog, as well. And yes, manual zoom. Yeah, hopefully the camera is not like, what are you doing, lady? But, so anyway, so hopefully that helps. I know, Ilana Kraus, she does she does so many, and then that was where I got the idea for this card. She used different stamp sets, but it's just such a cool technique. And so anyway, so that's what we did. And when I was playing today, Carol said, please do a Facebook Live. So, hey, it worked out. So anytime you want to see a Facebook Live, let me know. And I will get one started for you. So I'm going to flip the camera over so you see my crazy cold mug again. And I want to thank you for stopping in and watching my video. I really appreciate it. And Allison, oh, thank you so much. And I will, like I said, if you had any questions and you put them on the thing, I will go ahead and answer them once I get off of here. I'll finish the video. And I'm going to say night-night. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.